Hi everybody, welcome back. I've got something completely different today. I was contacted by a lovely company called Pour Away Fluid Arts, and they do 3D printing of different patterns and templates for acrylic pouring and resin art. They'd seen some of my pours with dividers. You might remember I did some pours with some frog tape dividers, and it has some sort of resemblance to the work that they do. So they've sent me some of their 3D printed templates. So I'm so excited to try them out. I'm going to use them. I'm going to put the link for this company in the description of this video. So if you have a look, if you want to buy, they're in the States, if you want to buy any of their templates, then they can ship them to you. I'm going to use one of their templates that looks like waves. So I've mixed up a lot of blues and turquoise colours. So let me show you. So these are the colours. So Amsterdam greenish blue, sky blue, King's blue, primary cyan, and then Pebbio iridescent blue-green and silver, and then Montmartre white. So they're mixed with PVA glue and water, and in each of these cups I put 80 grams of pouring medium and 60 grams of paint. So a ratio of 4 to 3. I had to do some maths then. So you can see they're quite thick and creamy. They leave a really nice trail, lovely trace on the surface of the paint. And I'm going to layer up some cups and do some straight pours. I've also just added, last minute addition, some moisturising coconut milk anti-breakage hair serum. So this acts as the oil. I've decided if I put some oil in here and then I torch, I'm going to get some cells which will look like bubbles because it's going to have a wave appearance, a watery appearance. So just last minute addition then of some oil. So I'm going to layer up some little paper cups for the straight pours. I'm just trying to work out whether to layer them up all in the same way or have some variation, have some different colours. I think I'm just going to do them all in the same way. Actually, I'm going to do them in this order, but I'm going to start with a different colour each time, so there will be a bit of variation in each cup. So I'm just going to drizzle some on the bottom. Right, I definitely made some mistakes there because I should have ended up with this colour on top of one of them. Doesn't matter, but I think I messed up at the beginning and I think I've messed up at the end. It doesn't really matter though. So all that's important is I've got 6 little cups of paint, layered paint. I'm using a 30cm canvas. I have just put some of the white down before I put the silicone in because I want to make a very thin base to stick the template into. So it's printed and so it's got this plasticky feel to it. It's very, very lightweight. So my concern is that it's not going to stick onto the canvas and the colours will leak underneath. So my idea is just to put some paint down to hopefully help it just to stick onto the canvas. So I only really want a thin layer of this. So here is the template. So you can see it's very, very flimsy, very movable. It's a wave pattern, but then there is a little thin piece here just to keep its structure, just to keep its shape. So I think the idea is that's up towards the top, so then the paint can go underneath it. So if I put that on, now this template is a reusable template. They do some reusable ones and some that you leave in your artwork as a feature, as part of the artwork. So that's worked well, actually. That is now stuck down onto my canvas and sealed. So it means that I can pour in these gaps and it's not going to leak. It's not going to escape out. It can go over the edges, which is good. Yeah, that's worked well. And then so I'm going to do the pouring, then I lift that up at the end and clean it and then use it for another pour. So I think I'm simply going to just do some lovely little straight pours. Where it's wider, I'm going to go slower so that more paint fills up. Obviously where it's narrower here, I'm going to do it a little bit quicker. I don't know if I'll be able to tilt it. I might be able to, but yeah, ideally not. So here you go. So wandering straight pours. Really pretty, really like that. Still got a little bit of paint in there, but I'm going to start with a different cup. The reason I came back again was I wasn't happy with how dark this bit was. I think I need to run off some of the top first. Like that. I'm getting rid of some of that blue before I start moving. Right, I've got lots of gaps, so I am going to tilt it, move it around a little bit. Also, there's a lot of paint on here, so if I just leave it like this, I think there's a really high chance that it's going to crack as it dries because there's so much paint on. Not sure, this is a bit of an experiment because I've not done this before, so let's just see what happens if I can just tilt it a little bit to get some of these edges covered. Yeah, it's not really going to work because the paint is going to go over the surface of the ridges. Okay, plan B. Just going to gently encourage it with a stir stick. No, I don't like that, doing that either. I've got the end of a paintbrush here. Right, so all the canvas is covered. I'm now just deliberating what to do about torching because I actually quite like it how it is, but obviously I've put silicone in this to try and create some bubble effect. So I think I am going to torch, but maybe just not all over, maybe just near the centre. Not sure. Let's see what happens. Maybe if I just torch in line with the waves. Oh, I like that. Really like that. Right. This softens with heat. So I'm going to stop now. I think I should actually torch afterwards. It just softened then as it got really hot, which is obvious if it's a plastic. Right, so I'm going to lift this off. It will move. It will move and the waves won't stay quite as distinct. That's fine. Oh wow, that's really pretty. How pretty. I caught it there, unfortunately. And then I think what I might do is just take my stick and just go along these lines just to try and smooth them a little bit. Now that is so pretty. I'm not going to torch anymore because those cells have just developed really nicely. So what I've got is just a nice thin band of cells in the middle of each pore. If it dries like this, I'll be over the moon. I love it. I'm worried though because I have got so much paint on here. I've just got a few air bubbles. I don't want to torch to get rid of them because I don't want more cells, so I'm just going to pop them with a pin. So a couple of things for next time. I think I need to make my paint slightly thinner so that I can tilt it or they're going to flow more easily, because I think I've got far too much paint on this canvas. I think they need to be thinner and they need to be stretched out a little bit more. I think a bit more contrast would work well between the waves, but I love it. I'm so happy with it. The lines you can see here, they are starting to become wiggly. They will do because there'll be, for example, if there's more paint on this bit than there is on this bit, it will push against it. So the lines will never stay exactly as when I lifted off the template, but it just doesn't matter. If you had straight lines, it might matter, but with this, because they're waves, and it's such a busy painting, so many cells, so many lines, it just doesn't matter. Love, love, love the combination of the straight pour with the cells. So you've got all the variation with the straight pour. You can see the little fingerlings, but then you can just see, for example, there, colours, I've pulled the colour back through the centre and then cells on top. So it's just a real jumble of fluid art, and I just think works so effectively. So quite excited to try another template now. So fingers crossed this dries without cracking. I'll be back when it's dry. Well, I was pretty sceptical about this and worried about how it's dried, was going to dry. I needn't have been because it's dried perfectly. You've got a bit of, in fact, if I put it on the floor, I can probably show you. You've got a bit of texture to it. It's not completely smooth. It wouldn't be because the paints are too thick. But from what I can see, there's no cracking. It's dried really well. So let me show you up close and just look how it just falls over the side. So pretty. So the edges have worked really well. The colour just falls over. The cells on top of the straight pour design, I love, absolutely love. Just look at that. You've just got such a combination of details. And you can see this sort of feathering where I pull the stick through to just define the borders a little bit more. You've got some real straight pour designs in there. You can see the folds and then the little cells in the middle. I really like the deep turquoise. I wish I had a little bit more of the deep turquoise for contrast. But with blues works so well, with it being a sort of wave appearance. It really does look like waves of water, ripples, maybe ripples in the sea, at the shore. Yeah, just so pleased with it. And it's just so shiny and iridescent. I will varnish this, or resin it, probably varnish it. And so that shine at the moment is just from the pouring medium, from the PVA glue and the iridescent paints. So it will actually change again once it's varnished. Great, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know what you think of the template I use, this technique. Please do hit the thumbs up button if you like it. Great, take care everyone. Bye.